Hi everyone, welcome back to Digital Photography. Today we're going to be talking about post-processing and specifically about editing your photos using Adobe Lightroom. So let's get started. The first thing that you're going to need to do is open up Lightroom. So for me, Lightroom often shows up in this bottom bar because I use it pretty often. But if I'm unable to find it, there's two places that I can look. The first is down here in this Creative Cloud. And if I click that, it will open up and I can find Lightroom Classic and just press the open button. Another place that I might look if the Creative Cloud icon doesn't show up in the bottom of my desktop is up here in the top bar. There's also a little icon there that opens up the Creative Cloud. So in the first tutorial that we did on creating contact sheets, we used the library tab in order to select all of our photos. We also used the print tab to put all our photos into one sheet and adjusted the size of the photos and added metadata. But for editing our photos, we're going to be using the development tab. And there's a lot of different settings along the right-hand side that you can use to edit your photos. And the cool thing about using Adobe Lightroom in comparison to Photoshop is that it has a feature called presets, which allows you to recreate your edits very quickly and apply them to other photos. So for example, I took all of these plant photos outside at the same time of day. So the lighting is very similar in all the pictures. The way I want to edit them might turn out to be very similar. So let's say this is my photo that I'm going to start off with. Over here in this column on the right hand side is the white balance. So depending how sunny it is at that time of day or sometimes even just the weather, we actually can see a difference in the colors for how the sun is impacting different objects. So you can tell by this day that it was a pretty warm sunny day. And so maybe I want to make it a little bit warmer. I can adjust my white balance over here temperature. You can pull this little bar or you can set an actual number if you want to be a little bit more precise. Or you can also set it down. Maybe I want it to be a little bit more fresh and cool. If you scroll down a little bit, you can also adjust your exposure. So if my picture is underexposed and I need to add a little bit more light, I can turn that up a little bit. And if my picture is overexposed, then I can turn that down a little bit. Remember, when we're taking pictures, we want to make sure that our pictures are adjusted as best we can while we're taking the picture so that exposure doesn't need to be adjusted in post-processing. Always do your best to adjust it in your photo shoot process. There's other features here as well, contrast, highlight. Maybe I want to emphasize those highlights a little bit more and emphasize those shadows a little bit more just to make that front part pop. And there's also a really good feature here that's good for us when we're shooting on days that have bad air quality. There's a dehaze feature that will just take some of that smogginess out of there and actually make your pictures a lot more clear and make the sky a lot more blue. So let's say that's the exact look that I'm going for. And now I wish that I could adjust other photos. Oh, before I tell you that, there's one more thing that you can see down here in the bottom left. Right now I've just selected it that you can see one photo, but one thing that I really like to do is to see the before and after. So now I can look here and see the difference between how it was originally and how it is now that I edited it. So let's say I want to now take this effect that I applied to this particular photo and apply it to multiple photos. The great thing about Adobe Lightroom is that it allows you to make what's called a preset. So these are my adjustments over here on the right side. Now I can take this exact formula and quickly turn it into a preset. Basically like the same way you do an Instagram filter, it will create a filter that I can apply to all my other photos with one click. So the way you make a preset is you come over here and you click this little plus. Create preset, and so I'll change this preset. I'll call it plants, maybe afternoon plants, in case I have another edit that I want to use. And click create. Over here on my left hand side, if I scroll down a little bit from the top, I can see all the presets that I have made. And so my afternoon plants preset that I just made. Now let's say I want to go to this photo, open that up, and now I can easily just click afternoon plants preset done, and that photo is edited. Click my afternoon plans preset, and it's done. And so if there's anything that I see that I want to change, like maybe this one looks bad in this preset, I can still feel free to apply that preset and then still make adjustments over here on the right hand side after to make it exactly the way I want. But having the preset just makes it super quick and easy for you to be able to edit each photo exactly the way that you did the previous ones. And so they'll all match. And later in the semester, when we're making series of photos, using a preset to edit all your photos in the same or similar ways is a really great way to make your series seem unified and cohesive. So that's it for Lightroom presets, and have fun playing around with Lightroom.